In Telangana, in the Aminpur area of Sangareddy district, something disturbing happened in Raghavendra colony at around 3 a.m. Loud knocking noises woke up the entire neighborhood. The man making the noise was a Chinaya, a resident of the colony. He was desperately knocking on his neighbors' doors. When the neighbors came outside, they found Chinaya in a terrified and panicked state. He quickly took them to his house. Inside, they saw his wife Rajitha lying on the floor in extreme pain, almost unconscious. She was twisting and crying while clutching her stomach. When the neighbors asked what had happened, Chinaya told them that Rajitha might have fallen sick after eating Purugu Anam, a popular South Indian dish made of curd rice. At first, it looked like a case of food poisoning. Without wasting time, the neighbors rushed Rajitha to the hospital in their car. Chinaya stayed back at home. He told the remaining neighbors that his 3 children were sleeping inside the room, but strangely, they were not moving at all. He feared they might have also fallen sick after eating the same food. When the neighbors went inside to check on the children, the sight that greeted them was chilling. All 3 children were lying on the bed completely motionless. They tried shaking them. They checked their pulse. They checked their breathing, but there was no sign of life. Inside the house, late at night, a mother was fighting for her life, and 3 children were already dead. The situation was extremely sensitive. The neighbors immediately informed the police. Chinaya was crying uncontrollably. In a single night, his entire family had been destroyed. Within minutes, police arrived at the scene and rushed the 3 children to Gandhi Hospital, where doctors sadly declared them dead. Chinaya also went to the hospital with the police. When he heard the confirmation, he was completely shattered. Overnight, he had lost his 2 sons and his daughter, but for the police, it was extremely important to uncover the truth behind this tragic incident. They took Chinaya to the police station for questioning. Chinaya told the police that he worked as a water tanker driver for a private company. According to him, just like every day, he had left for work around 10 o'clock May that night. His job was to transport a water tanker from Sangareddy to Chandanagar in Hyderabad. He also mentioned that he had received a call from the company around 9 p.m. assigning him this duty when he returned home at 3 a.m. His wife Ragitha opened the door. She was screaming in pain, holding her stomach and almost collapsing. According to Chinaya, Rajitha told him that after eating Purugu Anam for dinner, she and the children suddenly started feeling unwell. She suspected the curd she had bought from the market might have been spoiled. Rajitha asked him to check on the children, and shortly after saying that, she fainted. Chinaya ran to the children's room. All 3 were lying on the bed, completely unresponsive. After trying everything to wake them up and failing, he rushed outside to ask the neighbors for help. He said he was so scared and confused that he didn't know how to handle everything alone. From Chinaya's statement, the police could understand the basic outline of the incident, but several questions started bothering them. Police asked him, "If everyone ate the same dinner, why didn't you fall sick? Didn't you eat the same food?" And another question, why did it take 5 hours for you to return home? The journey from Sangareddy to Chandanagar usually takes only about 2 to 2.5 hours for a round trip. Chinaya replied that he had packed the dinner and taken it with him, but he never got the chance to eat it. He also said there was heavy traffic on the route, and he got stuck in a long traffic jam. However, when someone under suspicion has perfect answers to every question, it often raises even more suspicion. Here, out of 5 family members, 3 were dead, 1 was hospitalized, and only 1 person was completely unharmed. Naturally, police suspicion began focusing on the one who survived without a scratch. But within a few hours, the post-mortem report of the 3 children completely changed the direction of the case. The report revealed that all 3 children had died due to strangulation. They had been choked to death. What initially looked like a food poisoning case had now turned into a triple murder investigation. 3 children had been murdered, and someone was responsible. But to prove any crime, police need motive and strong evidence, and Telangana police soon found both. As the pieces of the puzzle started coming together, a shocking truth emerged, one that sent shockwaves not only across Telangana, but across the entire country. Welcome to the show. My name is Shashwat, and you are watching The Shocking Case of Sangareddy. When Rajitha was admitted to Panacea Meridian Hospital, doctors immediately shifted her to the ICU due to her critical condition. Since the initial suspicion was food poisoning, doctors performed a stomach wash, also known as gastric lavage. This is a medical procedure where a tube is inserted into the stomach to flush out harmful substances, usually used in cases of poisoning or drug overdose. Rajitha's blood and urine samples were also collected for testing. 3 hours later, her condition improved significantly. Her recovery was surprisingly fast. Even more surprising, her blood and urine reports were completely normal. There was no sign of poisoning. Meanwhile, police began investigating deeper. They questioned neighbors about Chinaya's behavior toward his wife and children. They asked if anyone had heard screaming or unusual noise from the house that night. They also verified Chinaya's work details with the tanker company, but they found no evidence against him. Then police examined the call detail records (CDR) of the family's mobile phones. During this analysis, one phone number stood out. Over the past 6 months, this number had the highest number of calls and messages with Rajit. Even on the evening of March 27th at 6 p.m., there'd been a conversation. That number belonged to Shiva Kumar, a private company employee living in Nalgonda district. When police examined the chats between Rajitha and Shiva, they discovered something shocking. The two were having an extramarital affair. But what did this affair have to do with the murder of 3 children? To find the answer, police went to Chinaya's house, where Rajitha had already returned after being discharged from the hospital. When police confronted Rajitha and Chinaya with the chat records and evidence, the ground slipped from beneath their feet. Under interrogation, Rajitha finally began revealing the horrifying truth. Back in 2013, Rajitha had just completed her 12th grade when, at the age of 18, her family arranged her marriage with a Chinaya, who was 20 years older than her. Chinaya was 38 years old at the time. It was his second marriage. His first wife had died during childbirth complications, and the baby could not be saved either. After marriage, Rajitha started working as a teacher in a private school, while Chinaya continued his job as a water tanker driver. Over the next 12 years, they had 3 children. Sai Krishna, the eldest son Madhupriya, their 10-year-old daughter, Gutham, their 8-year-old youngest son. From the outside, everything seemed normal. Chinaya loved Rajitha deeply and always tried to care for her. But inside Rajitha's mind, the 20-year age gap constantly bothered her. She often compared her husband with the younger husbands of her colleagues and relatives. Emotionally and physically, she never felt connected to him. 6 months before the incident, Rajitha attended a school reunion in Nalgonda, where she met Shiva Kumar, her former classmate from the 10th standard. That meeting changed everything. Their friendship quickly turned into an affair. Soon they were meeting frequently, and eventually began a physical relationship. Shiva made Rajitha feel a kind of freedom and excitement she believed she had never experienced before. Day by day, their intimacy grew stronger. Rajitha became completely obsessed with Shiva. She wanted to leave everything behind and start a new life with him, but Shiva placed a shocking condition. He said he would accept her only if she left, not just her husband but also her 3 children. He refused to live with someone who had children from another marriage. Shockingly, Rajitha agreed, and from that moment, she began planning something so evil that it would shake the conscience of the entire nation. Rajitha confessed that on the night of March 27th, after Chinaya left for work at 10 p.m., she fed dinner to her children. First the eldest son, then the daughter, and finally the youngest boy. The children were small and physically weak compared to her. They had no chance to defend themselves. And more tragically, no child could ever imagine that their own mother would kill them. After murdering all 3 children, Rajitha staged a fake food poisoning drama to mislead everyone. She had already informed Shiva about her plan during their call at 6 p.m. that evening. Despite knowing everything, Shiva never tried to stop her. That made him a part of the criminal conspiracy. When police asked Rajitha why she didn't simply seek a divorce, her answer shocked everyone. She said divorce in India is complicated and time-consuming, and she didn't have the patience to stay away from Shiva for so long. As for the children, she killed them because they were an obstacle to the life she wanted. Police believe that eventually she might have even killed her husband. On April 3rd, 2025, Telangana police arrested Rajitha and Shiva Kumar. Both are currently lodged in Sangareddy district jail. No matter what punishment the court decides, the truth is that Chinaya has already suffered a loss that no justice can ever repair. In a world where millions of women dream of becoming mothers, there are also people like Rajit who destroyed the very meaning of motherhood.